Quite out, but that was Floyd favorites.
Oh, a beautiful left hand by Gary Russell. And that's
Ali can find some way to get out of it.
He just
Hi guys, this is Mark Magnifico Magsayo. You are watching Channel Manoy.
Magandang araw mga pre, mayong adlaw po sa mga Bisaya diha. Gary Russell Jr. kasalukuyang WBC World Featherweight Champion, makakalaban din ni Mark Magnifico Magsayo ngayong susunod na linggo. Alam natin di talaga basta-basta itong si Russell Jr. May impresibong record sa pro na 31 wins, only 1 defeat, 18 via knockout. Pero mas nakakabili din ang amateur record dito na 163 wins at 10 lang ang talo. Ilan sa mga tinalo niya sa amateur ay ang 4 division champion na si Leo Santa Cruz at ang nagparetiro kay Miguel Cotto na si Saddam Ali na dating WBO light middleweight champion. Sa video ito, tampok ko sa inyo ang labang Gary Russell Jr. kontra Saddam Ali noong 2001 na kung saan nasa 12 at 13 pa lang ang kanilang edad.
He's a two-time junior Olympian hailing from the city so nice they had to name it twice. New York, New York, Brooklyn's in the house. Please welcome Saddam Ali. And his opponent out the red corner. He's wearing this red trunks with silver trim. He is a 5-time Golden Glove champion, ranked number 2 in the nation. From right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., he goes by the name Little Sweet G, Gary Russell Jr.
round one is 3 1-minute rounds here. Saddam Ali in the very flashy Tiger trunks. Little Sweet G, Gary Russell Jr. He's in the red trunks.
And speaking of flashy, I mean that's something that I saw coming in. Came in with a robe that matched his trunks. I see Sweet G with the little trunks that look like the professionals that Sean Bay wears and everything. I mean, I never thought of anything like that in the amateurs. I mean, these guys are very confident in their ability, and they've been winning numerous tournaments. Come out here and dress the way they dress. And if I'm correct, my memory serves me correct, Sweet G, I think, is the brother of Gary, a professional that can box very, very well, like Gary Jones.
Fathead Jones. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll check on that now. We got standing 8 count as Gary Russell lays punches on Saddam Ali, and referee William Johnson giving a standing 8. That's the first standing 8 we've had in these contests today. And Gary Russell definitely put on the level. That ends round 1, a good round definitely for Gary Russell Jr.
The thing about that, even though he got a standing 8 count, that only counts for 1 point in the amateur. And the professionals, you get a standing 8 count, knockdown or something, it counts for a 10-8 round.
Right.
And the amateurs, it counts for 1 point. You know, so that's the difference in the amateur.
Good round indeed for Gary Russell Jr., 5-time Golden Glove champion out of Washington, D.C. Here we go, round 2. Again, 3 1-minute rounds here in this age bracket. And we're in the 80-pound class here.
And I noticed something about Gary, how he's holding his hand. It's kind of like the international style where you see most of the European fighters have their hands up there in the air like that. And I remember as an amateur, one fighter I fought had his hands up like that, and I paid attention to his hands being up like that, and I got tagged quite out, but that was Floyd favorites when I was an amateur.
Oh, a beautiful left hand by Gary Russell. And that sort of made Ali stumble a little bit.
And Russell's really making good use of that straight left hand there. He's found a home for it, and he's going to obviously keep going to it unless Ali can find some way to get out of it.
And he just made Ali stumble with some good foot movement. And the fans enjoy that here in this second round.
I think this kid here has a bright future. He's a bright future. If he continues to be a part of the game and stay true to the game like he is right now, he's a bright future.
That is round 2. Gyms around this country. Once again, these cards under the production of Hobo Shop, helping our brothers out, and Cash Flow Productions. Of course, Hobo Shop has 2 locations, one in D.C., one in Baltimore. And they have clothing for all types, men, women, and kids. And you've seen some of our great boxers around the Washington, Baltimore area, including the heavyweight champion of the world, Hasim Rahman, former 2-time middleweight champion of the world, William Jaffe, and the former junior welterweight champion, WBA junior welterweight champion in the world, Sean Bateman. Sponsor Magnolia Coach Limousine. And throughout the night, you'll see our ring card girls, and they are wearing hobo clothing. And for more information on the Hobo Shop, go to www.hoboshop.com. And also, you can get video from that website as well as Platinum Gloves documentation. Final round here as Gary Russell Jr. taking on Saddam Ali. Saddam Ali out of Brooklyn, New York, and Gary Russell Jr. out of D.C.
And Saddam is throwing a good straight right hand. I mean, he's coming back here showing that he has heart. He's not been, deterred by what Gary has done to him early in the fight. And that's what it takes to be a top competitor.
Domination. I like the way Russell's using that left hand.
There's no doubt about it. He's got tremendous timing for a young fighter. I mean, he just seems to have a good sense about when to let that left hand go, and he's just showing savvy way beyond his years at this point.
Ali sent rushing again. You talk about the timing. Russell caught him with the right hand as Ali rushed in.
And then he showed a good professional move of a spin move to get out of the way, to have the guy standing up against the ropes by himself right there.
And that is the end of the bout. Another solid bout for both Gary Russell Jr. and Saddam Ali. Little Sweet G out of Washington, D.C., 5-time Golden Glove champion. I think we got a good idea of why he is a 5-time Golden Glove champion. Sure, as Mr. Bobby Jones gives us the decision.
The winner for the 2001 Platinum Gloves Invitational for the 80-pound class comes out of the red corner, Little Sweet G, Gary Russell Jr.
And Gary Russell Jr. showing a lot of flash with the backflip, a la Jorge Paez and Naseem Ahmed. So I think he's been around some pro people over the years.
Very much so. And I was a gymnast at one time. He showed very good form. The height was good, and the tuck was tucked very well as well. I remember days that I wanted to try that, but I didn't think I, had enough to do that after a fight.
Back with more from the Washington Convention Center.
Makikita sa labang ito na kahit batang-bata pa si Russell Jr. ay mapapansin agad ang taglay nitong bilis at galing sa laban. Sa edad na 12 ay tila isang bitirano na sa suntukan. Tinalo pa ang mas matangkad na si Saddam. Huwag kalimutang i-like ang ating video at pakipindot na rin ang subscribe button kung ikaw ay bago para umabot na tayo sa 200,000 dito sa munting tahanan ko. Maraming salamat sa panonood at suporta mga pre. As always, amping pirmi.